Okay, I think we are live on a new stream, so we had problems with the other one. And we're going live on this new link. So I need to be able to distribute this link. So if you're there, please just let me know by leaving a message on the chat. I had to do a new link because apparently we had a problem with the old link. So just a few minutes and we'll be ready to start. Thank you for joining, all those who are joining now. So I'm just be posting the links on social media because the old link apparently is not working. So let's see who's live there with us. You're welcome. Like I said, we had a problem with the link, so I'm just posting new links. So just a few minutes, so we will start. Let's repost the links on social media. Okay, let's do that on WhatsApp first. New link for live stream. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining, everyone who's coming in. Just give me a few minutes. We will start in 1 or 2 minutes. Just posting new links. So that we will be ready to start. Let's forward this to. We have to post a couple of links and then we'll be ready to start. The old links apparently are no more working. Sorry for the mix-up. Yeah, so if you're there, just you can leave a chat to let us know that you are who's watching, and we will be ready to start in a few minutes. We'll be ready to start in a few minutes. Let's post this on this page also. Yes, I think it's only on Instagram we're not able to go and change the link. I think we can still do that. Let's go to Instagram and see if we can quickly change the link there. Instagram. I have a funny story with Instagram. But I'll tell you another day. But for now, we need to go to the page and we need to change the link. I don't know if we made this public. We need to make it public. Okay, so it's public now. Okay, so who's there? If you're there, please just leave a chat message. We're about to start in a few minutes. I was just changing the links everywhere. Very sorry for the late. Yes, I think we are good to start. Let me put my phones on airplane mode. Airplane mode, right? Okay, so good evening and welcome. I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible. We're going to be talking about COVID-19. So many people believe that there's no more COVID or there was no COVID in the first place anyway. I kind of share the sentiments. I don't agree with that totally, but I share the sentiments that I think we made more of a big deal of COVID than it really was. But we'll come to that. It's part of what we're talking about today. So if you're watching this after the live stream, so if you're watching it later, at the end of this, and I'm going to try and keep this very short and simple. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to try and keep this very short and simple. We are going to be, I'm going to share my experience because I've been down with COVID for the last week. I'm just recovering, or I just recovered, I would say, fully recovered now. But the experience was interesting, and I'm just going to share my own personal experience with it, and then we're going to have some talk about how COVID is in Africa, and is it really that serious, or are we overplaying it? Are we talking too much about COVID? Thank you for joining. So we're going to talk about my experience, and then we're going to talk about COVID generally, especially in Africa, in Nigeria. Are we overplaying it? Is it too much talk, or is it serious? Please leave a comment if you are there so I know who is there. Thank you for joining. Again, I apologize. I had to change the link last minute. I'm sure a lot of people will go to the other link, and there was a mix-up on the link, and we had to redo the whole link. So I hope people get this. Thank you for joining. Welcome. So let's start with my experience with COVID. I think this is the second time I got the virus. I can't be 100% sure. This is because the first time, which was last year, I tested for the virus, but the test result came back inconclusive. I had symptoms, some mild symptoms, not too serious. But the test result came back inconclusive. Chichi, Jovita, thank you for joining. Thank you. I see you. I hope that we're able to find this link that we had to change in the last minute. Yeah, but that was an inevitable mix-up. The link was not working. I had to redo the stream now, and I hope anyone can see it and join. Okay, so I was saying that I was tested last year for the virus when I had some symptoms, and the test came back inconclusive. So because the test came back inconclusive, I cannot exactly say if I had the virus or not. That was last year. But I had some symptoms, and I took some treatment, and I was okay. And then just about 2 weeks ago, I had some symptoms again when I traveled to a site. And And this time I was tested and it was positive, and I was very symptomatic. I was down. So I'm going to talk about some of the symptoms I had, but also we're going to just have this conversation about the whole thing about COVID, um, the conspiracy theories and things like that. COVID doesn't seem to be too serious in Africa. Doesn't seem like it's a serious thing, especially here in Nigeria. Is it the weather? What is the issue? We're going to talk about all that pretty soon. And we're going to keep this stream as short as possible. And I'm going to tell you why I want to keep it as short as possible. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now why I'm keeping it as short as possible. Because I've been in this room, if you can see behind me, I've been locked in this room on isolation for 2 weeks as part of the protocol. So when you test positive, you want to make sure that you are no more transmissive, whatever is the word. You're not able to transmit the virus to other people. So I'm in isolation. I've been in isolation for 2 weeks. That's the time scale that should be to be sure that you can't transmit this virus when you go out. So I'm done. I've served my time in prison, isolation. So I'm leaving tomorrow. My bags are packed. You can see them somewhere over my shoulder there. They're fully packed. I can't wait to get out of here and go home to the family. So what was my experience like? What was my symptoms like? How did I feel with this virus? Well, it started 2 weeks ago. I started to feel some itchy throat, and it was a strange kind of feeling. I don't think I felt that before. And I wasn't comfortable in the night 2 Sundays ago. The next day, it was very, very bad. I was very sick. I was feeling very sick all morning. And then I started to hear news that a few people I had traveled with had tested positive for the virus. So I became suspicious that maybe this is COVID. So I went for a COVID test immediately. And first thing I did was to isolate myself from people because I wasn't sure. So I went for a test, and long story short, it came back positive. But at this time, the symptoms I was having was just the fever, the serious fever, the headache, the fever, all the body pain and weakness, which is what you also have when you have malaria, right? But of course, it was very quick. I started feeling sick in the morning, and before lunchtime, I was very down. I was feeling very sick. And then I had the itchy throat, like I said, headache, weakness. So nothing abnormal, nothing strange. It was, like I said, the similar symptoms you get when you have a malaria fever or something. Of course, I was taken to the hospital. Some tests were around, confirmatory PCR tests, and it was positive. And I had to be isolated. Sorry, let me take some water. So I had to be isolated in this room. So I've been in this room for 2 weeks since then. But as the days passed, I had a few more symptoms. I started to, I was having the fever more in the evenings. I feel a little bit better in the daytime, but once it's getting to the evening and the night, I feel very sick, very feverish, really bad fever, headache, weakness, joint pains, and things like that. And the throat that was itchy later graduated to a sore throat, and it was very sore. But I had all the medications I got. I have a bag of medications I got from the hospital. The treatment was mainly for the symptoms. So I got things for the fever, for the sore throat, and things like that, for the weakness. And I had a lot of vitamin C. And of course, my crew gave me some ginger, garlic, and lemon, which are just over there in the room. So I made a smoothie of these things because they said it will improve the health, whatever they say. Okay, so after that, it was like 3 or 4 days of intense feeling sick. But after like 5 days, I started to feel a bit of a relief. But then I couldn't breathe well because I had stuffy nose. I didn't have a runny nose. It was just very stuffy and blocked. My nostrils were blocked. I couldn't breathe well. I had some spray they gave me to spray on my nose. So those were some of the symptoms I had. and I recovered after about a week from when I first started to feel the symptoms. After about a week, I started to feel better. Of course, I tried to keep myself as much, drink a lot of water, take the ginger, garlic, and lemon, take a lot of lemon, take the drugs, try to eat a lot. And I had good appetite. Thankfully, God was in control. I had good appetite all through. So I was eating very well. I was trying to exercise as much as possible in this room. Because, disadvantage when you're isolated is that you don't even have some sunlight, you don't have some exercise. That is not good for your immune system anyway. So I had to find a way to keep myself active in this room, do what I can, jog on the spot, press up, whatever I can do to just keep fit, improvise as much as I can. Which brings me to the talk of this whole thing about COVID. So you see, the symptoms I had are not too far from the symptoms we have when we have malaria fever, which is very common here. When we have other fever, typhoid, whatever fever we have here, we have similar symptoms, right? So most times it looks like you say, how are you sure it's COVID? Okay, apart from the test that shows it's positive, how do you know it's COVID? Because it could just be something else. And then the conspiracies of how this is not really a virus out there, it's just normal symptoms. And people have different views. And I'm not here to try and convince you that there's no COVID or there's COVID. You can believe what you want to believe, basically. My view is that if there's COVID, I've been involved in the front line because of the kind of work I do. During the heat of the pandemic in 2020, I was working through the pandemic, and we had a lot of exposure. So I had first-hand experience with a lot of people who caught the virus, who fell sick. So many people close to me. So I know that the virus exists. I'm not a medical professional. I don't have all the explanation, but I know that people were sick of the virus, strange symptoms, and they were tested for the virus. And I also know that outside Nigeria, outside Africa, in a more colder region in the West, there's a lot of people died from this. So I don't downplay that. I don't think it is even right to do that. COVID is real, in my opinion. But what I want to talk about, what I want to dwell on, is the fact that COVID is not as dangerous as we thought it would be, or as the world made us to anticipate in the start of this pandemic, especially in Africa, in Nigeria. I don't know if it's something that has to do with the weather. Please tell me what you think. You can leave a comment below. What is your own experience? What's your perception? What's your belief on this whole thing? I think that it has something to do with the weather, with the fact that we have a very hot tropical weather. I think the fact that we survive in the heat, we grew up surviving in the heat. We have developed some antibodies and things. I think the symptoms of COVID, like I said, to me, were very similar to what you have when you have malaria fever. So our bodies are used to that. I think the weather doesn't do well for the virus. So maybe that's a blessing where God knows that, okay, if he doesn't help us, we can't help ourselves, right? I feel that it is the hand of God helping people who can't really help themselves, because we don't have the facilities, we don't have the health care, we don't have all these things that people have out there. So somehow our weather, our whole environment is good. God is giving us provisions to deal with this, and I think that's what has helped us. But I'd like to know what you think. So if you have an experience, or if you believe differently, you can leave a comment. I'll go through them, and I will know. So now, coming to my belief system that I was talking about, I think that, first of all, the weather is a thing. Like I said, I think the weather is a strong thing. But I also think that the average hustler in the streets in Africa, he's in the sun. He's always in the sun. He's not in an air-conditioned room, air-conditioned car, air-conditioned house. I think those kind of what we call luxury in the air conditioning and everything, I think they actually serve better the cold weather, the non-natural air, the lack of sunlight and vitamin D. And so you see that a lot of people who caught this virus were mostly from the upper class, people who don't expose to sunlight, who live in the bubble of their wealth and in this air-conditioned car, air-conditioned house, air-conditioned lifestyle. A lot of the cases we saw were from this class of people, So I think just the average guy hustling in the streets, having enough sunlight, I don't think COVID can survive in his body that much. Okay. But a lot of people in the upper class who dwell in this bubble I talked about were part of those who really caught the virus more. Second thing, of course, was people traveling into the country from the West. We know that the virus was more ravaging in the West. So people coming from Europe, from the Americas into Nigeria, into Africa, they tend to come in more with the virus. So if you were working a job or doing something that you have to interact with foreigners, if you were traveling a lot back and forth during this period, this last 2 years, you had more exposure to the virus. But the average person who is just in country, hustling in the sun, hustling every day, it just seems like there's a protection for them because the whole weather thing is good. But let me know what you think. That's what I think with that. And that, in my belief system, is consistent with the mercies of God. Because Africa is not the wealthiest continent. Nigeria is not the wealthiest nation. A lot of our population in Africa are living below poverty line. We cannot really afford to deal with a lot. Now we are hearing of monkeypox and things like that. There's going to be one thing or the other over and over coming, but seems like the mercies of God is on our side, helping us, keeping us safe. A few years ago, it was Ebola, and that was a very ravaging virus, the Ebola virus. Oof. And it was dangerous, but it wasn't transmitting so fast like COVID, but it was far more dangerous. And when it came to the country, we were all scared. We thought, this is it, we're all going to die. But the mercies of God, in my belief system, the mercies of God, but somehow we were able to contain it and deal with it. And then we had the end of Ebola, and then came COVID, and I think it's the same mercies of God that's working. That's my belief system. But also, because the message of God is everywhere. So that's why I think that the message of God is working through things like the weather that is good. I think it's not favorable. But, and this is my point I want to pass today through this live stream. This is the main reason I'm making the live stream. For many people who don't agree that this virus is dangerous, I think it's not too dangerous, but it is there. It is harmful. People have died of this virus. Even in country, people have been sick of this virus. I just recovered from the virus. So even if you don't believe, and I can't change your mind to believe that there's COVID out there, please keep your hygiene level and your immune system up. Especially now that everybody thinks that the virus has passed and we're back to normal, we've taken off nose masks, we're going back in our lives normally. It doesn't stop you from following basic hygiene. Wash your hands regularly. So many people were more conscious of the hygiene during the pandemic, and now everybody seems to just be relaxing back. You don't keep as much attention to your hygiene like you used to do. I think we should make it a lifestyle, not just in this pandemic. Like I said, we're hearing now of monkeypox, and there's virus out there. There's a lot of virus out there. So wash your hands regularly. Drink a lot of water. I think the hand wash is the key thing with hygiene. I mean, we can't wear masks forever. We can't wear masks every day. I still wear the mask sometimes if I'm going to be in a very crowded place and I'm not too sure if I'm going to get in a plane. I mean, apart from the fact that it's mandatory to wear the mask in a plane, I would wear it anyway nowadays, because like I was talking about, this kind of enclosed spaces where you are in you're in a plane, you're in an air-conditioned house or office or car. But if you're in an enclosed space with a whole lot of people, especially you're traveling and people are traveling in and out and you don't know them, you don't know where they've been, where they've interacted with, I would wear the mask in a plane. Tomorrow I'm flying back to Lagos, I would wear the mask in the plane, even if I'm not required to, just because that kind of environment, I think, is more susceptible to this whole virus thing. So I wear the mask. But of course, we can't wear the mask everywhere we go, every time. So my advice is always to wash your hands regularly, maintain good hygiene, don't touch every surface you have to touch. And once you come back from that habit of keeping your hands clean, because your hand is the major contact point for your body. You know, keep your hands as clean as possible, whether you believe there's COVID or not, whether you're symptomatic or not. Just good hygiene. Even before COVID, we always taught our children to wash your hands regularly because there's a lot of virus on surfaces, so we have to wash our hands regularly. I think that's a habit we need to keep it up. Don't slack on that. Keep washing your hands. Keep maintaining good hygiene level. If you don't have to shake his hands, don't shake his hands. Anyway, so that's the main lesson. The main point I want to pass in this is don't let down your guard because you think COVID has passed away. Many people thought it's totally gone, and I just caught it last week. So it's there. Keep your hygiene level up. Protect yourself as much as possible, and then your immune system. So I'm going to talk about this. Your immune system. You have to have a healthy lifestyle to keep up with your immune system. How you eat, your nutrition, because a lot of people just gulp a lot of food. You need to be careful how your health is with respect to your nutrition, what you eat, how you eat, when you eat. Like they say, it's better to eat small portions of food several times a day than to just eat a big bulk of food that your body can't deal with. It's better to eat healthy content of your food and don't just eat too much junk and all that kind of stuff. And then this thing here, this is key. They used to say water is life. Drink a lot of water, especially when we're in these hot regions. Drink a lot of water. Water is very, very good. Drink a lot of water. That's free advice for you there, and I'm sure you've heard it 1,000 times. Just keep drinking water. I find that water is really good for your health. When you drink water, somebody explained to me, somebody who's a medical professional, I'm not. He said when you drink water, you keep your whole system purified, flushed, but also hydrated, and you reduce the chance of contracting sicknesses and diseases. So water. But how do you drink water? So I learned this. I learned that don't just get thirsty and gulp a full bottle of water. And then they ask you, how much water have you drank today? You say, I drank 5 bottles of water. But you drank them all in 5 different times, so you just gulp everything once because you were thirsty. The more healthy practice, as I learned, and I'm not a medical professional, is to drink small portions of water all through the day. Drink a lot of water, but drink them in small portions all through the day. So you keep hydrated throughout the day, as against getting very dehydrated and then you drink a lot of water. Those bulk gulping of water just goes back to the toilet. You just go and pass it out. But you drink little water to keep your body system hydrated and your body use the water, and then you are more healthy. So little bits of water all through the day. That's my free advice for you. I got that from someone and I've been practicing it. I think it's very good. It helps your immune system to stay up. So water is key. Nutrition is key. Then exercise. A lot of us do not exercise anymore. I don't understand. And so many people think, okay, because I don't have money to register in a gym, that's why I don't exercise. No, I've been locked up in this room. Well, for the first few days, I was really sick, so I couldn't do any exercise. I was just trying to survive. But after that, I've been busy exercising. That's what I've been doing. I've been busy trying to keep as fit as possible with this constraint I have. I don't have any weights to lift. I don't have nothing, but I jog on the spot. I press up every day. I do some sit-up. Walk your cardio a bit, run on the spot as much as you can. I walk in the room. I'm not allowed to go out. I'm isolated. Tomorrow I'm out. First thing I'm going to do, let me tell you this for free. First thing I'm going to do when I get out of this room tomorrow is I'm going to stand under the sun for 10 minutes and just breathe in the fresh air and the sunlight. You don't know how good that is. I've missed that. I've missed the sunlight. Sometimes I open the window to get some light in, but it's not like standing in the sun. And I walk a lot. That's what I do. I have the step tracker that I wear, and I walk around the estate a lot. I do at least 10,000 steps every day when I can, to keep myself alive, to keep myself active, to keep my body system working. So exercise is very good. It's very, very good. I don't know all the medical theory and physiotherapical theory that is there of the benefits of exercise, but just exercise. Just keep fit as much as you can. Walk, run, push up, press up, but the walking and the running. Because a lot of people go to the gym and they're only interested in their looks. They're trying to grow their chest and their biceps and triceps and look good for the girls, or the girls want to look good for the boys. It's good to look good, okay? It's good to appear good and look nice, but that's not the main benefit of exercising. The main benefit is for your health, is for your fitness and your health. So don't just spend all the time in the gym lifting weights and growing muscles. Run for your heart, walk, keep your whole body system functional and active. I think when viruses and diseases come along like this, and we have a pandemic now and then, the state of your immune system will help in how you survive, even if you can't wear the mask every day to protect it from contracting it. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who have contracted the virus and didn't even know that they had the virus. Little symptoms or no symptoms, because your immune system is good. Keep that up. If your immune system is good, you have a good chance of living through this type of pandemics or anything like that, and still be good, still be healthy as much as possible. So the three key things: the good nutrition, water, and exercise. For me, those are three key things that you need just for your general lifestyle. And of course, hygiene. I talked about hygiene. So 4 things just for your general lifestyle, so that you are in a better place. You're not susceptible to sicknesses and diseases and virus and things like that. Those 4 things are key: the hygiene, the good nutrition, water, the good water habit, and exercising. You have to inculcate that into your life as part of your lifestyle. Free advice there. But then there's a 5th thing I want to talk about briefly before I begin to round up. There's, like I say, if you have any comments, you can leave them there and I can look at them. If you have any experience, if you believe differently, if you've had an encounter with the virus and you want to share, or if you don't believe that there's a virus out there, whatever is your belief system, you can leave it there. But my 5th thing is faith. Faith. A lot of people fall sick, and just because of the fear of, I've got COVID, now I'm going to die, and their whole systems are shutting down. They just begin to be overwhelmed by the fear of, I have COVID. For me, like I said in the beginning of this stream, COVID symptoms is just like malaria symptoms. It's just like any other thing. Just keep your health level good, your fitness level good, your immune system up, and then if you catch the virus, see a doctor, they'll give you some medication, treat the symptoms. That's what I think they're doing. Isolate from people. But then the virus is not a death sentence. It's not taboo. In fact, some people don't even want to think that they have the virus. That's why I made this live stream. That's one of the reasons I made this stream. Because some people, if you tell them these symptoms you are showing, are you sure it's not COVID? They think that it's a curse to have COVID, or it's an abomination to have COVID. COVID is not. It's not a crime. It's not a taboo. It's a virus. And there are millions of viruses out there. COVID is just one of them. COVID-19 is just one virus. You shouldn't feel stigmatized or feel like, you got the virus. You have COVID. Some people hear that I had COVID and they're like, wow, man of God, you had COVID. I'm like, excuse me, I have blood in my veins. I'm human. If I interact with someone who has the virus, who is still transmissible, and I'm not careful and I'm careless with the person, I can catch the virus. But it's just a virus. Chances are you survive it. So fear should not even come to play. Do you know that malaria kills more people than COVID? Even in the heat of the pandemic in 2020 and in 2021, the highest killing disease in the world was still malaria. It wasn't COVID. With all the hundreds of thousands that were dying all over the world, there are more people that die from malaria fever every day than COVID. So don't be so afraid that I have COVID, I'm going to die, or it cannot be COVID. It cannot be, no, I will do that. It cannot be COVID. It's just a virus. Protect yourself from it as much as possible. But if you catch the virus, then treat it and have some faith. Believe that you're going to be good. Treat the symptoms, isolate yourself to protect other people, build your immune system, take whatever you have to take, all the good and healthy things, the lemon, ginger, garlic, all the things they asked me to take, they're all there. I did take them. I crossed my heart, I did take them. My wife knows that I hate the very name called ginger. I don't even want to hear it. Or garlic, I don't want to even hear it, let alone the smell or the taste. Just the name, I don't want to hear it. But I took it. I made some smoothie out of it. I drank it. It was horrible. But if they say it's good for you and you're not feeling well, you take whatever you have to take to get well. It's like medicine. It's not sweet, but you have to take it when you have to take it. So to conclude, I'm going to refer to a video I did, one of the earliest videos I did in my channel here. And if you have not watched it, go and watch it. It's titled Miracles and Foolishness. Which is connected to what I was talking about, this whole stigma that I had COVID. Oh, hey, no, I didn't have COVID. And the denial when you're supposed to be treating and be positive and get over it, get well. Instead, you're denying and you're allowing this virus to stay longer in you. I don't, as if to have COVID is one kind of a thing. So I did a video 2 years ago, just before the pandemic, or 3 years ago, I think, and it was titled Miracles and Foolishness. And in that video, I was saying how a lot of us in the faith community, when we believe God for everything. Yes, thank you. I got this message from Maureen. Thank you for your message. It says, acknowledging any illness is the first step to recovery. You know what you are dealing with and you focus on the solutions, not the problem. Fear kills faster. Thank God you're better. Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, my sister, my only. Thank you. Okay, so that's a very important point related to what I was talking about, miracles and foolishness. So we believe in miracles. A lot of people in the faith community, we believe that, okay, there's miracles of healing, and I believe in miracles of healing. I preach the healing of God. I have benefited from the healing of God severally. I am well today because of the healing power of God. Simple. So I believe strongly in the healing power of God. I testify of it. I've experienced it. I pray for people, they're healed. I pray for myself, I'm healed. I pray for my children, they're healed. So I know of the healing power of God. I have experiential knowledge of the healing power of God. Okay? I know that very well. Someone is asking if I'm still live. I think I'm still live. Can somebody corroborate that? From my end, I see that the stream is still on. I don't know if somebody knows differently, but I think I'm still live. Of course, there's the other link. So there were 2 links, and I hope you're not on the other link. Okay, thank you. So I believe in the healing of God, but what I don't believe is foolishness is when you have access to medical care and medicine and medical science, and you intentionally refuse to take it, refuse to benefit from it. It's when you have access to a doctor and you don't want to hear the doctor because you say, I'm healed and well in Jesus' name. And it's just like somebody who has a car and doesn't want to go to the mechanic when it's bad to get them to fix it. Or you don't want to feel it. You just pray on the car, just lay your hands and God will, because you believe in miracles. The fact that God is a miracle worker does not negate medical science. In fact, medical science is a miracle from God. Humans would not have been able to figure out the lessons of medical science unless God gave us the knowledge. All knowledge is from God, including medical science. So why do you embrace the professionals to look after your car? When you want to build a house, you engage the professionals. But when it comes to your body, you don't want to listen to the professionals because you have faith. Faith does not negate the science, the knowledge that God has made available to us. It doesn't negate it. So if you are feeling sick and you can afford the medication, buy it. If you cannot afford the medication, believe God, pray, and tell God, I would have taken the medicine, but I don't have the money, so you have to heal me. But you can't have access to medicine. You can't have access to a doctor, and you say, I don't listen to, I don't believe in all those crap. I'm a man of faith. Well, I don't fault you if you don't if you don't engage medical science in your life and you just believe that. But I think it's foolishness. That's my own belief. I think it's foolishness. And it's not downplaying your faith. I have strong faith in God. And Benson Idahosa is the one that told us, the Archbishop Benson Idahosa, many years ago, that if he's not feeling well on Saturday night, he would pray and he would take the Panadol, because he doesn't want to come to church on Sunday morning, or want everybody to come to church on Sunday morning and they say Pastor is not able to come to church because Pastor is sick. No, let's get well as quickly as we can. And medical science is interconnected with the 5 things I talked about, or the 4 things I talked about, which is your hygiene, your nutrition, how you take water, your physical activity and exercise. All that is part of the knowledge from medical science. So you can't throw all that away and live carelessly. You never exercise, you don't drink enough water, you eat carelessly, you're not careful with hygiene because you're a man of faith. I think you're just being foolish. You're pregnant and you don't want to go for what do they call it? Antenatal. You don't want to go for checkups. You don't want to listen to the doctor. You don't check your blood pressure. You don't take all the advice and medication because you are a woman of faith. It's foolishness. That's my view. Believe in God, have faith, but also listen to the doctors and treat yourself and live a healthy life. Develop a healthy lifestyle. Lead a good life. Watch your health, be active, and all that kind of thing. That's what I want to share. Thanks, Maureen, for this beautiful comment you added. Like I said, if you're going to watch this later, I'm going to try and end it now because I don't want it to be too long. If you're going to watch this later, feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to come back to the video and check your comments. And I'd like to know. Have you had an experience with COVID? You have someone close to you who contracted the virus. What's your take on it? What was their experience? Were they very symptomatic? Were you very symptomatic if it was you? What kind of symptoms had you? Later, I explained the symptoms I had when I caught the virus. And in summary, it was similar to what you have when you have malaria fever. I had headaches. I had serious feverish condition. I was feeling very sick, for a couple of days, especially in the evenings. It was so, I took the medications, but my body was just fighting. You could tell my body was fighting something, and it took a couple of days before I could get myself back. I had a sore throat, and it was bad. The headache was crazy. I had the stuffy nose. I couldn't breathe for a while. Couldn't breathe well. I was breathing from my mouth. So I had symptoms that were not too strange. The itchy throat was strange at the beginning because I have not felt that kind of itchiness, if there's a word like that, before. So it was very strange. But as you can see, I'm better. And like I said, I can't wait to get out of this room tomorrow and go home. I've served my time, 14 days. 13 days of isolation. The doctor said I should isolate for 12 days, and that should be okay. So I've done 13 days, so I one more. So I can't wait to go home tomorrow to go and see the wife. I've missed her and the boys. But that's my experience with COVID. Like I said, this is like the second time I caught the virus. The first time wasn't serious, but this was pretty serious. But God healed me. I listened to the doctors. I tried to keep fit. I followed all the hygiene and health advice. I drank a lot of water. Like I said earlier in this, water is key. Water is key. Okay, Jovita says, in as much as the symptoms look like malaria, there's still a difference. I lost smell. Okay, wow. You lost the smell immediately and couldn't perceive any body spray. Wow. I did not lose my sense of smell. I was checking it every day. I was always spraying something like, can I still smell it? So I didn't lose the sense of smell, but thank you. So as much as the symptoms are similar, you have to know that you have to listen to the doctor. If you're feeling sick, go to the doctor. Because when we just think it's malaria and we self-medicate for malaria, and it's not malaria, even though we're treating the symptoms, don't allow this virus to stay too long in your body. So try and use medical science, medical help, medical insight as much as possible. Daniel Harris, what did you say? Thank you for joining. Thank you, Daniel. I know a few people who had it with no symptoms. Some who did have symptoms, but all recovered okay, thankfully. Yeah, I think this is the experience of the majority of people, which is being little or no symptoms at all, being very unsymptomatic. This is the experience. In fact, I think many people have had the virus, like I said, and did not even know that they had the virus. Thank you for your comment, Daniel. And then you said staying active is the best advice. I need to improve my activity level. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thankfully, never ever tested positive, and I hope you never test positive for this virus. But yes, you are very right, Daniel. Keep up activity. That's one thing I've learned to do. I go to the gym as much as I can, take a walk every day, try to meet up to 10,000 steps on my tracker, drink a lot of water. I come back to this for me is key. Drink a lot of water. Like I said, don't gulp it at once, but take it, little bits, but all through the day. Make sure you drink water all through the day. Spread it all through the day. You just keep your body system healthy when you drink a lot of water, and you keep yourself fit. And then hygiene. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Keep your hands clean. Keep your whole body clean. Hygiene. I was just before I came live, I was watching another live stream from Windows Central. I like to watch their live stream every Friday evening because I'm a bit of a tech freak. I like tech, so I watch Windows Central. I subscribe to them. Good guys, Daniel and co. And we were just talking about Daniel. Was just talking about Daniel Robino. If you don't know him, you can follow him on Windows Central. He's a good guy. I enjoy them. He was just talking about how nowadays men, especially men, I'm just going to talk about this for a few minutes. Men, we are not like men of 30 years ago. You have to improve your hygiene. You have to shave the body hair. You know what I'm talking about? And then just look ugly and dirty. That was then. You have to keep as much as possible good hygiene level. And also for the women, everybody, you have to keep good hygiene level. Wash up, clean up, moisturize as much as you can, look young as much as you can, be healthy, exercise. And Jovita says vitamin C 100 gram became my lover. Yes, the doctors gave me some packs of vitamin C. I still have them there. I take them. I think it's good. And they gave me some medication. I don't even know the names or what they do. I just take them. But I'm good now. I'm healthy. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm grateful to God. Yeah, so 47 minutes on the clock. Of course, there was a few minutes before we started, but okay. I think we're going to have to round this up. If you have a comment, I'm going to just round this up in another 3 minutes or so. So if you have a comment, you can leave it down there. Like I said, if you're watching this after the live stream, feel free to also leave a comment. I'll come back to them. I'd like to know your experience. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Jovita. Thank you, Winifred, Maureen. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all those who joined and left. That's my experience. And I'm going to summarize by saying my belief COVID is real. It may not be as predominant here in Africa as it is in the West, which makes us to drop down our guards and live carelessly. But be careful now, because COVID is real. It's not the end of the world, so don't be afraid that you got COVID, or when they say maybe you have COVID and you start thinking that no, I can't have COVID, is as if it's some kind of stigma. It's a virus. It's just a virus. Okay, it's a virus that we don't really have the treatment yet for, but it's not too deadly a virus. So if you treat the symptoms early, if you keep up your health level, you could survive it very, very easily. And most people are not even symptomatic. And lastly, I talked about 5 things that I think you need to do to stay healthy, not just for COVID, but for your life generally. We have monkeypox and different types of things will still come. 5 things to keep yourself healthy. I talked about your hygiene level. Try and keep your hygiene level up. Wash your hands and keep yourself clean and healthy every time. I talk about nutrition. Eat well, eat right, eat at the right time, eat the right kind of food, eat small portions, eat healthy, no eat junks and all that kind of thing, and too much cholesterol. Try and watch what you eat well. Number 3, I talked about water, which I think is key. Drink a lot of water in small portions all through the day. Number 4, I talked about physical fitness and exercise, activity. Keep your activity level. Take walks, run, exercise as much as you can to keep your whole body fit and healthy. And number 5, have a positive attitude. Have faith. Fear makes a sickness gets worse. So have faith. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Winifred. Thank you all of you for joining. I'm going to end it now, and it's my birthday coming in just about a week from today, and I'm going to be doing another live stream. Then I want to talk about some key things. I'm going to make out the flyer, and you're going to see it. So let's keep it there. Thank you everyone for joining, and see you in the next one. I'm going to hang out here a bit for anybody who wants to chat up before I end the stream, but officially this is the end of the video. So thank you and God bless you. Okay, so officially that's the end of the stream, but if you're here and you want to chat up, you can leave something. I'm going to just keep this for another few minutes. Thank you everyone who's there. Winifred, thank you. Like I said in the beginning, we had the mix up with the stream. The first one died off just at 9 o'clock, so I had to make another stream quickly. But I'm happy this worked. I like your feedback. Was the video okay? Was the sound okay? I didn't get the time to do a sound check because I was trying to just rush up to get another stream live when the first one just closed out. I don't know what happened. I need to investigate what happened, but the first stream just closed out, and that was the link that was there. So I like your feedback. What do you think about the sound, the video, the network? I hope it wasn't too bad because the internet here is not the best. But did you get what I was saying? Was it good enough? Somebody, please, if you can leave a comment for me before you go, I would appreciate that. Yeah, I hope the sound and the video was okay. Seems okay to me, but I can't hear myself. Or at least I can't hear the way you are hearing it. So somebody please leave a comment. I have another 5 minutes to terminate this. I just like some feedback. Anybody? Daniel, thank you. Sound and video was fine for me, both clear. Wow, thank you. I was a bit worried about that. Thank you, Dan. Much appreciated. And keep up your exercise level. Keep up your exercise level, like you said. Pay attention to that and keep as fit as possible, especially as we grow older. I'm in my mid-40s now, so if I don't exercise, I probably will fall sick more. Yeah, so thank you for that feedback. Much appreciated. I'm going to keep this on for a few more minutes. Let's talk about tech for a few minutes before I get out of here. So, okay. I just released a video a few days ago where I talked about what is in my carry-on bag, which is over there every day. So if you have not seen that video, please look at it. Chip BK, thank you. The stream was excellent. Good to know you're feeling better. Thank you, man. Much appreciated. So I did some tech video, and I talked about a few things in my carry bag. But if there's anything you want me to talk about particularly, I would appreciate you hit me up on the comments of that video, so I will know if there's any particular thing with my camera, my microphone, my phones, my Surface Duo 2, which I use for the people who are interested in tech. The Jabra headset, this very good headset. They've got this microphone, which I like to use. So there's that. And all my gear, I talked about a couple of gear I go out with every day. So if you want to know any particular thing about gear, we'll hang out. I'm going to do a hangout. I forgot to say that. I'm going to do a live stream just for tech, for the tech community. Where I'm going to talk about tech. I'm putting a list of things I'm going to do. So after my birthday, maybe the following week, I'm going to do a live stream if we have good internet, where I'm just going to talk about tech stuff, a whole lot of things. The techs that are just coming out in 2022. We are still in the season where new computers are just coming out, a lot of stuff. So I'm putting together a list of exciting tech to talk about, whether it's from hearing tech, phones, computers, fitness tech. I am getting a new smartwatch. I'm going to be unboxing that in a couple of days. I'll talk about that soon. I'm excited about that. I'm also getting a few things in, so I have some unboxing coming out leading to next Friday, my birthday. So we're going to be talking about a few stuff. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to end it here. It's exactly 2 minutes before the hour, and I'm going to see you guys again. Have a good night. Wherever you are, I hope it's night. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, enjoy the rest of your day or the night, and see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you.